Going to talk about ticks today. This is April 10th. I started saving the ticks that I pulled off of myself, off my dog, off my wife. So that's about 30 ticks in about a month's time. That's most of them. We got an early year on ticks back just before April 10th there. We had a big warm-up. We had about a week of real warm temperatures and capped it off with a weekend that got up to around 70 degrees. So the ticks just like really started coming out. And I don't know if it was like 5 or 6 ticks before I started keeping track of them that I had. But we have to do something because the dogs get treated. Both of my dogs are on NexGard. But unfortunately, they don't have any of that for the humans. And it doesn't keep the ticks from riding the dogs back into the house. And they go on the couch, they go on the beds, they go whatever. They bring the ticks with them. So this is permethrin, and this is concentrated. This is not diluted for spray. You have to dilute it yourself if you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to make tick tubes. And I started seeing some videos around, and I came across 2 videos that were very informative. I'll link those in the description. The general gist of it is you're breaking the cycle of the ticks. You got to try to find a way to stop them. So you're going after their host, which in this case is either mice or chipmunks, because that's how the ticks get carried from, further out into the woods, right around your yard, your lawn grass, whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to use paper towel tubes or toilet paper tubes, and we're going to put some bedding in there that the mice like in the form of cotton balls. But the cotton balls are going to be soaked in permethrin. We're going to soak it, we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to put them in the tubes, and then we're going to spread the tubes all around the property. I'm up against the state forest here. I have stone walls on all sides of my property. So one of the better places is to just hide them right in the stone walls, and like I'm going to do some underneath my hay barn, underneath my woodshed, all places that I have seen the squirrels and the chipmunks and all the other critters running around. They're going to take the cotton balls back to their nest, and they're going to use it. They're going to make bedding with it. And when the ticks come in contact with this bedding, it's going to kill them. It's not going to harm the squirrels or the chipmunks or the mice. It's not going to harm the dogs if they get hold of a, mouse or a chipmunk that has this for bedding. The one caution is you do not want this wet around your cats. Cats specifically, there is a danger to them. It's very, very toxic. From what I've read, once it's dry, it should be okay for cats. But I'm just going to use extra caution. If I can get enough of the ticks and I can cut back on just the huge population around here, it'll be much more tolerable. And I'll probably be doing all the other wildlife a favor too, like the deer and the moose, if I can kind of cut down just on the amount. So that's the plan. That's what's behind it. Let me go ahead and finish getting these soaked. And then once they're soaked, let them dry. And I'll just take you around and show you the different spots I'm going to put them. All right, so I let the cotton balls dry overnight. Still have a little bit of wetness to them, but I had other things to get to. I figured I'd leave it. I was thinking about this overnight. The newspaper that I was initially putting the cotton balls on got soaked through pretty good too. And I know from experience that mice like to make nests out of any paper you leave laying around in the barn. So why not tear that up and include it in with cotton balls and make the permethrin go a lot farther. It's a little bit more bang for your buck. Speaking of bang for your buck, this is not related to the video, but some of the other things I was doing yesterday was getting the lawnmower going for the season. I don't know how many people might be familiar with this product. This is not an endorsement. I picked this up at Tractor Supply yesterday because my riding mower, one of the front tires, wasn't taking air. It was completely flat. So basically what this is it's supposed to last for 2 years. Stops any slow leaks and plugs any punctures. You just take the valve stem out, you put in the recommended amount of it, and put the valve stem back in and fill it up. And it worked immediately for me. So very happy with that. These were the little 5-inch tires on the riding mower. And according to the chart on the back of that, it says it takes about 8 ounces. So you could fill about 3 of those size wheels, or you could fill up to, well, like here on a camper, an ATV, 24 ounce, 16 ounce. But if you happen to see it in the store, check it out before you go looking to replace a tire on a riding mower or even a wheelbarrow you can use. All right, so basically your tube, and we're just sticking some stuff in here. Might actually work better to wad the newspaper to kind of help keep the cotton in there. I'm not going to stuff these things real tight. I'd rather have them go a little bit further. It just gets to be a tedious process after a while, soaking all of those tubes individually. I'll improve the technique over time, but I wanted to get going on the season before it's too late. Let me talk a little bit more about what I've read on the permethrin. It looks like you might want to try to do 2 applications in a year, like first thing in the spring when they're out and about and they're latching onto things. And then I guess that later in the season is when the ticks go and start making the nests and laying all their little nasty eggs and stuff. So if you can do a second round of this stuff in the fall, you're even more likely to catch, a lot more of them. And I'll look up, I'll get more of the product information, but I think they said that this should last for about 4 months, the effectiveness. And again, the idea of putting it in the tubes and everything is just to kind of hold your product in place and kind of give it some place where you can stuff it. Keep it all together, keep it all in place. Protect it a little bit from the elements like rain and stuff, but obviously you don't want to put it right out in the open ground. You want to find rocks or little old log piles, anything that you would suspect that mice would be hiding in there. I don't know how many of my viewers are from New England, but if you are from New England, you know the tick menace, and you know it's been getting worse every year, from one end of New England to the other. I know they're bad in all parts of the country, and I'm sure they're getting bad everywhere. I'm not sure, you can let me know in the comments if you're from a different section of the U.S. or heck, anywhere on the planet, where you have a tick problem. Let me know if you think that you've been experiencing that the tick menace has been getting worse over the years. All right, I'm gonna take the camera with me, and we'll just go put these again. You get the idea of what I'm filming there. You don't need to see every step of it. So let me go find some good spots to do. All right, let's grab my helper and we'll go plant some of these. You could see that they're starting to ooze through a little bit. So yeah, some of them were still a little over soaked, but I think this will be good enough. All right, so this is going to be one of my primary spots here, is up under my barn. Under here, I just know that I have a huge mouse problem. So I'm going to get down and look at this. It's a perfect crevice to get for them, right? I'm also going to do inside my tool shed because I have a horrible problem in here. So I'm just going to do a spot like underneath. I'm just starting close to my house and living area. And as I do up more of these, I'm going to work myself out in a greater radius. This shed is going to be coming down, but in the meantime, I'll put some of these in there and make use. So here's another great spot, right? Anybody have pallets that they use keeping their firewood on? You know the mice and the chipmunks love to run underneath that. So this is in my backyard. We have all these piles of rocks and boulders from an old gypsum or feldspar mine over there. And it is just, right, it is central area for all kinds of critters and rodents. So I'm gonna put something in there. I'm trying to be mindful of the dogs. My dogs aren't too bad for digging stuff. You know, I would like to do under there, but I'm gonna hold off for now because my cats do go out and go under there. That's about the only place left that they do hunting. And this is perfect, right? The old stone walls, lots and lots of places for critters to go. So I'll just find some spots that are kind of protected from the elements, but are also on what I imagine is a daily commute for the mice and the chipmunks. And my dog comes back here and runs all the time. So of course he comes back with ticks. There. All right, so I'm out right now. I'm gonna go mix up some more off camera, but I want to give you an idea of, you know, how to put them together, what's involved, and where to put them. If you have any kind of property at all, if you have a postage stamp lot, you know you're still going to have mice. If you can find any spot under your house, around your foundation, if you have, you know, like I said, any old masonry with cracks in it, anywhere that mice are going to be, just be careful. If you have cats, read the warnings, do some more research on it. I'm trying to be very mindful of my cats not coming in contact with this, especially when it's wet. Other than that, it seems like a good solution, and I'm going to try it out. And I'll probably just make mention next year if I notice a reduced amount of ticks. It's kind of hard to, you know, go out and see, you know, what the effectiveness is, other than go and look and see if some of the tubes are taken apart and missing all the cotton balls. But again, do some research, check it out if you hate ticks as much as we all do. And I'll link those other videos in the description where I got the idea from. And let's go out there and make the world a happier, safer place. Thanks for watching.